We're back now at 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, and this morning on Today's Health, the dangers of gymnastics, the graceful sport that demands discipline and strength, attracts a lot of young kids with dreams of Olympic glory, but while most of them don't make it that far, a new study suggests that too many end up in the hospital instead. Here's NBC's Kevin Tibbles.
Like many young athletes, 15-year-old Lauren Bledsoe thrives on competition. She's been training since she was barely able to walk.
In first place, it's Lauren Bledsoe.
But within months after winning top honors at a Missouri State Championship last year,
can you walk sideways for me, babe?
Lauren's Olympic dreams were dashed.
Try not to wobble.
Doctors told her to stop competing or face injury.
They found out I had 3 bulging discs and a herniated disc that was pinching my nerve in my back.
Many parents may not look at gymnastics in the same way they do football, hockey, and other contact sports. But medical experts caution gymnastics injuries can be just as serious.
You can fall off the equipment, you can take a tumble and injure your neck, and so there are injuries associated.
A recent study by the Nationwide Children's Hospital in Ohio found up to 27,000 gymnasts end up in the emergency room every year, many of them with strains and sprains to the arms and shoulders. According to the study, gymnastic injuries like the one caught on camera in this video provided by the hospital could be reduced with good coaching and proper equipment.
This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. We need to speak with particularly the younger girls about trying this stuff at home, away from practices in the backyard.
At the All-American Gymnastics Center in St. Louis, safety comes first. Budding gymnasts use what's called the pit, filled with blocks of soft foam to practice their flips and flops.
It's like jumping into a swimming pool. It's a safety situation for them. It's a softer landing. There's room for error.
Okay, let's see you walk.
Though she no longer has a gold medal goal herself,
Turn around.
Lauren is keeping a watchful eye on the next generation.
Your turn, Ben.
For today, Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Chicago.
Dr. Nancy Snyderman is NBC's chief medical editor. Hey, Nancy, good morning.
Hey,
this is scary stuff. What kinds of injuries are doctors seeing in these emergency rooms?
Most of the injuries of those 27,000 are girls. 82% of them are girls, and most of them upper body injuries, and a lot of those fractured arms.
And yet, if you listen to this information and you hear these statistics, you'd say, okay, there must be some very strict rules and guidelines for people operating gymnastics centers, for the people spotting these young athletes.
Well, therein lies the rub. There are really strict rules for the competitions, but they are not uniform. They aren't enforced. So your school, my school may be different, and all these little gymnastics centers around the country, there really are no firm regulations. So the injuries that are being reported to this sort of cherry-picked 100 hospitals, they're coming not from competition, but from the schools and recreation centers.
Let me go back to what you just said. 82% of all
girls.
of these injuries, girls. Why
Right.
such a large majority girls over boys?
Girls are more in this sport, but on top of that, more vitamin D deficiencies in girls. Our bone mass is not as great as boys, and unfortunately, in this patient population of gymnastics, we see a lot of eating disorders, and that makes bones brittle too.
We don't want to have parents out there telling their little girls and little boys, forget it, you can't go into gymnastics, but let's give them some information they can use before they actually let their kids take the first step.
You need to see the pediatrician first, and I know this sounds like one of those guarded cop-out answers, but you have to make sure that your child doesn't have any other injuries, and I think a psychiatric and sort of intellectual profile is important because your child already has an eating disorder, or wants to be Mary Lou Retton, or has really misguided views about what he or she may accomplish. This may be a child that is so driven that she may in fact go through that pain, and that no pain, no gain stuff kids should be warned about.
Make sure your kids wear all the required safety gear. Teach,
Yep.
and this
that can be just wrist guards.
Right, exactly. And this next thing is what you just said. Make sure your kids are not the kind of kids who are going to play through pain.
That's right. If it hurts, you tell the coach and you stop, and that really means also parents have to be in part of this.
What about you? Also think kids, you should encourage your children to express their fear or anxiety over some difficult moves. Now, if you're trying to make the team, if you want to go that next step, that's going to be something a lot of kids are going to have a hard time with.
I would suspect if you talk to the Olympic athletes, they will tell you that at one point or another they've been scared, and I would bet most kids who are driven enough to excel like that won't say, I'm scared. A little trepidation with the right coach, perhaps. But you can't just turn your kids over to the occasional coach and say it's going to be okay. Go to those centers, drop in on the training sessions, and make sure you have a coach who, frankly, is going to be nice to your child and encouraging and not going to push your kid too hard.
All right, Nancy, good information.
Yeah,
thanks very
Matt.
much.